Hello, hello. Welcome to the Female Factor podcast. It's your host, Lawrence. I know it's been a minute since we've been on, but that's okay. We here, we back, we strong, we excited. As you know, let me just introduce myself, and then we have a very, very special guest that's going to be with us today. I'm sure you all know who this person is because she's all over social media, and we're going to hear all about her story. As she say, period. I think she's in the back on the backstage laughing right now. But my name is Lawrence. I am your host of this podcast, the Female Factor Podcast, where we talk about the stories and the challenges of women in business. I am also the founder of the Powerhouse Branding and Network Community, where we create a community that actually cultivates, empowers, as well as celebrate women in business. And of course, you all know me as a photographer who specializes in branding. And what I do is I help elevate your brand visibility, credibility, as well as recognition. And I do that through the power of photography. Quick ground house rules: if you have not followed Powerhouse, definitely do so, because that's where the video is broadcasting right now. It's also broadcasting on YouTube and LinkedIn. So if you're not following me on any of these channels, please go ahead and follow so that you are notified every time we are doing these amazing podcasts. You might ask, well, Lawrence, you are a dude. What are you doing with a podcast called The Female Factor? Well, most of my clients as a photographer are actually women in business. And this is why I wanted to create a platform for the women that I work with, and to help bring and pretty much amplify their voice and to bring it to surface of the things that women go through. As being entrepreneurs and being a minority. And so we want to not only create the space to talk about it, but my hopes is that in talking about this, that we're actually able to create solutions that will make the journey more easier and pleasurable for our women in business. And that's what it's all about. So Today, we have an exciting guest. I'm going to read a quick bio of this amazing individual. You guys know her. She's all over social media. She is killing the media mountain, as she would say when she gets on here. But I am talking about none other than Coach Taylor. So, Taylor is a 34-year-old woman who overcame adversity and emerged as a resilient and successful individual. Raised in foster care in St. Louis, Missouri, she faced numerous challenges in her early years as a teenager. As a teenager, she became a mother, but she embraced the role with courage and maturity while pursuing her education. Taylor's passion for design and the digital world led her to become proficient in various design software through self study and practice. She also gained a unique perspective on the power of marketing to create positive change. Leveraging her expertise, she develops impactful marketing campaigns that inspire and connect with audiences. Taylor is not only a successful professional, but also a remarkable mother who has defied the odds and provided her children with a loving upbringing. Her journey serves as a testament to her strength, determination, and commitment to creating a better life. Through her story and achievements, she inspires others and exemplifies the power of perseverance and resilience. So I'm going to bring to the stage none other than Coach Taylor J.
Good introduction.
Well, look, let me get my tea. Talk about period. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Amazing. Listen, I am excited to have you. You know, you're a celebrity, so to have you in here is a dream come true.
Thank you.
I'm reaching some look. If I got Coach Taylor J on here, I know I'm going somewhere.
Period.
I want to say hello to Robin Young, as well as Anita Washington. You guys need to check out Anita. She also has a podcast. Robin has a podcast too. I have a lot of podcasters that like to tune in, so I really appreciate that. I'll talk more about Robin toward the end because we got some special things that we got coming up that you guys definitely want to know about. So, but yeah, I have so many questions. I mean, you know the saying, we don't look like what we've been through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And your story is amazing. We share some similar past in terms of like our upcoming, and so I can definitely connect to and resonate with your story. Um, and so I just want to get right into it. I mean, I think the biggest thing I want to talk about, and it's like we're gonna work our way backwards. The biggest thing that I want to talk about is this new brand concept and idea that you've recently launched called the Fresh Digital. I love it. It's prophetic. It's innovative. It's fresh.
Yeah.
And it's something that just will not go stale and it's relevant. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time just putting a lot of energy into my brand and what it is today. And I started off as just like Taylor J Graphics, started off doing graphic design, but then I realized quickly that I was skilled on so many other different levels as it pertains to marketing and branding and even a little bit of sales. And so I really spent a lot of time trying to hone in and figure out what this was that I was carrying.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna tell you a fun little story. So I was serving at a major conference that my coach was hosting,
Mhm.
and I had contacts in my eyes, and my eyes kept getting dry. And so one of my friends went out for me to go pick up eye drops, and when she brought it back, it said fresh, and then it said something something, then digital. But fresh digital stuck out to me, and I'm like, I looked over at someone. Her name is Raven. She's on the squad or whatever, and we were helping with the media. I said, "Oh my God, this will be such a dope name for like my company." She was like, "You should do it. You should do it." And so honestly, that's where it came from. It just really stuck out, and I just loved it. So yeah, now we're here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing I appreciate about like your mindset and how I can connect to it is we don't stall
Yeah.
when it comes to ideas, when it comes to pushing.
Yeah.
If something don't work, we are not crying over spilled milk. We got something else on up our sleeve that we get ready to push out.
Yep.
You better catch up with us. I'm just saying. And so that's one thing I can appreciate. I know we've worked together on several projects. You had the briefcase here in St. Louis, and then you had the digital briefcase that
Yeah.
was virtual, and then you've been teaching on like cultivating out of their comfort zone and really embrace the social media world and the digital world.
Yeah.
One thing I love about your message is you're saying, listen, we got to conquer this thing. There's nothing that we should be afraid of.
Yeah.
But I understand that that boldness and that confidence didn't just come anywhere.
Mhm.
And so, like, tell me some of the things that you've had to face being a woman trying to establish your brand and establish what you have today.
Yeah, so one of the major things, so I do have a lot of courage and a lot of boldness, and a lot of that actually comes from my childhood. So growing up, I literally went to 13 different schools. I was all over the place, all over the city. Grew up in, a period of time in foster care. Was a teen mom, and so because I transitioned so much, I had to learn how to adapt quickly, right? So
Mhm.
one of the major things that you absolutely need as a business owner is you need to have the ability to step out, become social, be able to network and connect,
Mhm.
collaborate with people. And so I really credit my past for this skill that I have, because I don't
Mhm.
want to be the kid showing up every year to a new school and I'm going through the same cycle of, okay, how long am I going to sit at the lunch table by myself? I
Mhm.
have to be that. And so it just really helped me to develop this courage and this boldness that's on the inside of me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things that you've also taught me is you have to not only embrace your testimony, but you also have to protect your testimony because everybody don't appreciate your upcoming and they can't handle the weight that your testimony really brings with. And kind of tell us, when did the entrepreneurship really kick in for you? Did it kick in later, or like tell me how when did that kick in for your timeline?
Yeah, so it kicked in kind of early. I started off doing network marketing. I signed up with this company, and it was like a health and wellness company. So that was like my entry point into entrepreneurship. I never thought about becoming an entrepreneur, didn't know that was available to me. I wanted to be a social worker. And I'm like, $50,000 was I'm like, I'm trying to make 50,000 a year. At the time, I think I was making like 28,000 a year, something like that.
Mhm.
More than 30 maybe with overtime. Yeah, a
Right.
lot of overtime. And so one of my friends, she introduced me to this company, and I signed up for $99. That was like one of the biggest investments I had ever made. It was a lot. And that's how I started with entrepreneurship. I started learning about business.
Hmm. Oh, awesome, awesome. And how old were you then, if you don't mind me asking? I know you ain't supposed to ask a woman her
No,
age.
it's fine. I think I was like 22 years old. Honestly,
Okay.
I was about 22. Yeah, because I aged out of foster care. I was working in social services. So it's probably like 2 or 3 years after that, 23. And it was a lot of fun. I was like killing the game. Let me share something. I was so passionate about sales and being an entrepreneur that I was still a heavy, thick girl, still slanging these and selling these health and wellness products, right? Like, it was amazing. Like, I just look back, and it wasn't like what necessarily what people saw. I was taking the products, but it was my passion behind it.
Yeah.
I could educate
Absolutely.
people and all of that. It was, yeah, I had a great time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I can remember my early years in sales.
Yeah.
I had went to, I forgot what they call it, but it was like a few of you, like different people from different high schools, would meet at some type of retail store, and they would understand. Really forgot what it was called, but we had to understand like marketing, sales. We had to learn how to sell. We had to create a product. I think our product was like those chocolate covered roses, and we had to learn how to sell those products, and it was so interesting, funny for me because the first day my voice was completely gone. 1.
Wow.
I know them folks thought I was special because I couldn't talk, and they're like, But then halfway through the program, I started getting my voice back, and but that's a whole nother story. How did you balance being that entrepreneur, discovering your journey in your professional calling as well as your entrepreneur calling? How did you balance that, being a mother and being at a young age at that?
Yeah, it was incredibly difficult. I felt very tired. I suffered from a lot of burnout. This was in my 20s. And I even tell my daughter now, in your 20s, go hard, do as much as you can, learn all that you can. You won't get these years back. These are your years to just go for it. But I suffered a lot of burnout because I didn't understand balance. I was trying to figure out what worked. And I knew that God had placed something on me that was just so special. I knew I was called to entrepreneurship. I had begun, just receiving words and people were encouraging me. And I'm like, okay, I know that this is my life, but I wasn't sure on how to get there. So bills got to be paid, have to go to work in this career. I got young kids. My children were all young, like elementary and younger. And then I had this business that I was passionate about, but I would go to work. The type of jobs that I had, I was still able to kind of have a little bit of freedom because I worked in social services. So I was still able to check my phone, communicate with people on the clock and all of that. And then I would get off work. And I mean, it was really on my cell phone. So I was like on my cell phone a lot. Yeah. And then I would feed my kids, them places, do stuff. I would be out at the park. And now I'm better now. Now I don't try to do this now. But they would be at the park and I would be like, okay, yeah. I really turned it into a lifestyle. But I suffered from burnout because I didn't practice self-care at all.
Yeah. So give us a few tips that now. But before that, I do want to acknowledge Lena Chapman, who joined.
Hey, Lena, girl.
Hey, Lena, welcome. If you guys are really enjoying this, go ahead and just share the broadcast. And tag some people in here because we're gonna get into the meat of the matter here. She brought up some major points about balance, and we've talked about that in the past about balancing the career versus your lifestyle and everything. And in this case, it's very biased for me to come from a perspective of like family and work. But what I really want to do, and this is I've said this in a previous broadcast, is really discovering life-work balance, not work-life, life-work balance. And so I would love for you to share some tips on especially things that you've learned on how to create that balance of your entrepreneurship, but also not just being a mother, but taking care of you.
Yeah, so I'm very intentional about my time with God. Very, very intentional. I'm very intentional about me now. Before I would work, serve, do all these things, and then I'll get me some me time in. Next week, I'll schedule time at the spa, or next week I'll go take a walk, or later on tonight I'm scheduling a nap. But then I realized I need more than that. Don't put myself last. Yeah. So one of the things that I'm very, very strict about for me is when I get up in the morning, the first thing I'm thinking about Taylor J. I'm like, okay, God, what does Taylor J need for today? Let me drink my water. Let me get some rest. Let me get some peace. Let me take a walk. Like, I'm very intentional about that. And I'm patient with myself. And I'm patient with the things that I'm working on. So, sometimes we want to see our brand be birthed and then just do numbers the next day. And that's not the case. So I really learned how to really take my time with things and just allow it to just grow, So it's really, that it's not a cliche when people say it's not a race, it's a marathon. That is so true, So I would rather take my time building something valuable than to run through and, it all fall apart because I didn't take care of myself.
Awesome. The last thing I want to touch on is your recent accomplishment. I want to talk about this because this speaks to your credibility and your expertise and your knowledge, not just as a social media expert and a digital expert, but also, like you mentioned, learning that balance. And one thing I do want to celebrate with you is you recently reached your 10K followers.
Yes.
So we want to go ahead. If you're on here, I want you to go ahead and type congratulations to Coach Taylor for reaching 10K. She has reached 10K followers. And I wanted to bring this out because you talk about balance, you talk about working hard, resilience, bouncing back from just the roughest background and experiences, but yet still coming out on top. And so I want you to share a little bit about your 10K following reach and just kind of boast a little bit about that.
Okay, let's talk about it. So I think it's so significant because, like, just like back then, right? I'm
Mhm.
selling these health and wellness products, promoting weight loss. I'm still a thick girl. I was so passionate about it. It's the same. Like, I believe in social media. I believe in what it could do. I see what it can do, and I found myself really serving behind the scenes and working for other influencers that have over hundreds of thousands of followers. So I'm already in it. I'm already doing the work. I'm already a part of it. And so I'm teaching other people how to do it. Yeah, I don't have, these followers. And so it's so crazy because I have a note in my phone. I actually dreamed that I began going viral and reached a certain amount of followers on June 8th. And then just a couple weeks later, it happened. So I'm super excited about it. Having a lot of followers is a big responsibility. People can be mean sometimes. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, it's a big responsibility. But what I'm most excited about is just being able to reach more people. When you are faithful with the few, God rewards you. So I'm really excited about that. Excited about my reach. Excited about seeing 10K. I remember watching my following count go up, and I'm like, I only need like 4 more followers, and I'm at 10K. Like, okay, so it's really good to, and I'm gonna share this as well. I had spent so much time, putting together everybody else's brands, right? Serving everybody else, being a cheerleader for everybody else. And I didn't put that same energy into my own brand, to be honest. I kind of just, posted here and there. And I know people say, I'm so impacted by what you're doing, but I was stretched thin. But the moment I began to step back and really focus on Taylor J and my brand, that's when I really began to see results, not just with the followers, but my cash flow went up and everything. I feel like my value went up, all of that. So,
Indeed.
saying all this energy into everybody else, take a moment and say, what does my brand need, right? Like, you have $1 million brand, multi-million-dollar brand, and so the same energy that you put into everybody else, put that into your own brand. And so I did that, and I began to see results. So yeah, I'm excited. So
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you shared what you have shared, and like I said, this wasn't supposed to be a super long broadcast. It's just enough to kind of get people interested in really reaching out to you. And like I said, I reached out. I mean, I mentioned the 10K because I know you offer some support in helping people like level up on social media, and because you have the receipts, you're definitely a credible source for people to like really connect with and go higher in their brand. We work with branding, and I honor the sphere in which you dominate when it comes to branding, and I totally respect that. I'm like, look, I ain't got the patience for it. So when I could go big, I'm just gonna hire a Coach Taylor to help me get to them numbers. So I want to take the last few minutes to allow you to kind of share more about, like, this is like your last minute pitch on what you do and how people can connect with you. I'm going to drop off the stage and hand it over to you, and then when you're finished wrapping up, just give me the cue, and I'm gonna come right back up stage with you.
Awesome. All right, people. So I am Coach Taylor J. I started off as a graphic designer, so I am a graphic designer. I thoroughly enjoy graphic design. It's so peaceful to me. And so if you need any flyers or graphics or things for your website, I got you on that end. I also have a fresh digital community where, I go live, share tips and all of that of media, marketing, just any questions that you all may have. That is now $24.99 a month to join, really cheap. It's on its own app, so it's off of social media where the distractions take place. so it doesn't feel like work. I really love the environment, so I do Zooms periodically, do mastermind strategy sessions, all of that. So that's $24.99. And I also have a website, freshdigital.media, so you can go there and just kind of go through. You can submit your requests. I can assist you with your marketing if you need strategy for upcoming events or any of that. If you need landing pages, anything digital, I got you. And especially if you need social media classes, something new that I'm doing is content creation days, because people struggle with creating content. Either you don't have the confidence, you don't have the boldness, you don't know where to start, you don't know about trending sounds, you don't even know how to really put together those reels and TikTok videos to make them aesthetically pleasing. This is a space that I've created for us all to come in and really get hands-on training, right? So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about people getting in front of the camera. It's like the organic content is the content that really gets reached. And so I want to leave you all with one tip before you all sign up for my community. Just pull out your phone. Many of you already have content in your phone, right? You just have to be confident enough to put it out there and just get confident in your message and what it is that you have to offer. And I promise you, you're going to see results. But on the other hand, go to freshdigital.media. There you can find the community. There you can submit any requests, and also follow me on Instagram at Coach Taylor_J. You'll find it on my website. So, Lawrence, that's all that I have.
That's all. That's everything. What you talking about? So there you have it, you guys. Coach Taylor, she is the social media, not just social media, but digital channel expert. And so I employ you to reach out to her, go to her website, connect with her, join her community, so that you can grow on social media. So many things are changing. They dropped that new Threads app. And so it's just another opportunity of domination for your business. And depending on, where you see yourself flourishing, and she's going to help you through all of that. So connect with her. So I just want to say thank you, Coach Taylor, for graciously being a guest on this podcast. I appreciate your story. I appreciate the value that you added to the Female Factor podcast. You are definitely a woman who is changing the business game, and we so value your what you are doing. So we're going to say next time to you, because we're going to have you back on our show, believe it or not. I'm just saying, so don't trip. I'm seeing the details. You're going to be back on so we can learn more, because I know you got some more things, especially as 2024 is coming up. I know that we're about to level up on a lot of things.
Yes.
So, we will definitely have you back on the show. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time, Coach Taylor.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So there you guys have it. We had Coach Taylor herself on, sharing her amazing story of how she started at a young age, even with children, but yet she pushed and she's becoming the, I like to say, celebrity that she is today. And so again, I'm allowing her information to just scroll on the screen for a few more seconds. If you have not grabbed it, go ahead and grab it so that you can connect with her, check out her website, look up her community, look at all the resources that she does have to offer to help you and educate you in the area of digital content and social media. And so I have just a couple announcements myself. Number one, the replay of this podcast will be on our website shortly, either tonight or tomorrow, which is chapterastudio.com/the female factor. So if you want to watch this replay as well as the other episodes that we have listed from other amazing speakers, then you can watch it then. If you want to be a guest on this show and share your story and share how you have overcome in the area of entrepreneurship, and some of the challenges you may face in just developing and deciding your journey in business, then you can also submit an application on the website to become a guest. One of our team members will be contacting you within 24 hours just to learn more about what you would like to share, and hopefully from there get you on the calendar so that you can share your story. There's the young lady, let me see, right here to my left, Robin Young. She is one of my clients in Florida. She will be hosting an event called Pass the Baton Summit, which I'm humbled to be one of her guest speakers for there. So I will definitely put let me see if I can actually grab it now, her website information. So if you are in the Florida area and you want to be a part of the summit, you can definitely register for it. They do have VIP options, which of course are limited seating. So you don't want to procrastinate. I will be talking about branding, duh, and the importance of branding. And so we definitely would love to have you be our guest this next month. And all the details will be on the link that I just put in the chat. The other announcement that I have is that we have a couple of services that we do help for total, like helping your business, whether it's in the area of content or branding. We can pretty much help you reset your branding and prepare you for the next level in your business. So you can reach out to me by going to chaprastudio.com. And we will be able to connect with you, learn more about your business, and really develop a very detailed blueprint of how we're going to take your business to that next level. So that's all my announcements as of right now. I'm going to play a couple of flyers and I'm going to cue the music. So you stick around a few more seconds so that you can get more visual announcements that we have going on. And until next time, we thank you for being a part of the Female Factor broadcast. See you next time.